All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. I am so happy to have you here. Today is an interesting day because we normally talk a lot about pushing in the Sunday Sweat Club, right? We're gonna get sweaty, we're gonna move our bodies, we're gonna see what we can do. Today is going to be obviously some of that, but I'm going to have an emphasized focus on rest because I think one of the things that we forget about is that rest is just as important as the movement. So while we are going to move, we are going to have more opportunities for rest. And when I cue it, great, you can take it. But keep in mind, even if I haven't cued rest, you can take it, right? So please, when you feel like you need to rest, and we will get rocking and rolling. Come down to your mat, and we will begin in a seated meditation today. All right. So as a reminder, any seat is a good seat, just something you feel comfortable that you can sit in. Maybe legs extended out in front of you, maybe Sukhasana like me, maybe something different. And then bring your hands somewhere on your body, so either on your knees, maybe two hands over the heart, if that feels comforting to you today, right? Within rest, it's a place that we find comfort. Let your eyes close if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Let your shoulders relax. Let tension melt away from the back of your neck and your jaw. And bring your awareness to your breath. Where in your body can you feel it? And if you need a little specific guidance, maybe you feel it in the low belly as it just gently rises and falls. Maybe you can feel it around your nostrils or in the back of your throat. Pick a point of sensation and focus your awareness there. And if your mind starts to wander anywhere else, bring it back. Single point of focus. So when we meditate, this is the breath that we use. Shallow, easy. But when we move into the yoga practice, that's when we begin to deepen the breath. So start by taking a full inhale. Pull the breath really deep down into the bottom of your lungs. And then as you exhale, pull your belly button in and up. Slowly empty the lungs at the same rate. If you like, you can do Ujjayi breath by constricting the back of your throat slightly, and this will slow down your breath and stimulate the nerve on the back of your throat to keep your heart rate a little bit slower during class. So take a few more of these larger, more expansive breaths. And once you've found your own rhythm, equal inhale, equal exhale, These larger breaths are where I will ask you to rest when you're resting today. And if you're breathing a little bit heavier, they might be somewhere between your shallow breath and your big breath, right? But the idea is to make the breathing intentional, slowing the heart rate with the slow breath. So take one more inhale. And exhale. Allow your eyes to open. Maybe you keep them kind of heavy, like your eyes are a little bit sleepy. And then lean backwards on your hands and walk your feet forward. So we're going to just move through the hips without really any guidance. So you can just swing the legs side to side. If you like, you could close your eyes again. And the only reason we're doing this today is just to evaluate how your hips are feeling. So start with that little question. Continue the breathing, right? Big, deep breaths. Great, come back to center and then make your way, as is traditional, to tabletop pose. Hands come under shoulders, knees under hips. Maybe you try not to use the hands until you plant them right in your tabletop pose. And then walk your knees together. So normally we take them the hip width distance apart, but once you've gotten there, bring them together. Make sure your weight is firm and equal in both hands, weighted easily. Shift your weight over into your right knee and draw your left knee into your chest. So what we'll do is we'll make a circle with this left knee. The idea is, as you inhale, start to push the knee backwards. Make it as close as you can in line with your hip. But once you're here, you might come into a back bend. I know that looks cute and a little bit sexy, but instead, pull your belly button in towards your spine, almost so you're rounding through your low back as you try to lift the knee up. Great. Now, you're going to take external rotation in the thigh. So flip that thigh outwards, and then bring the knee up and around towards your left tricep. So this is just a mindful circle, right? But keep thinking about not letting the pelvis bend into a back bend for this whole big knee circle. And if you're at home and you're just like, pew, 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 I want you to slow down. As slow as you can go, moving through the hip. The reason we like to go fast is often because it's easier. So instead, mindful hip movements, warming up the hip here. 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center, knees together, and then take your knees wide, toes touch, and push back into a child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Next breath in, pull into your fingertips, lift yourself up and separate your feet slightly, and then allow your pelvis to drop towards the ground any amount. So you come into a little bit of a baby back bend. So it's not gonna be a full up dog. Just moving as you exhale, push back to this semblance of a child's pose. So yeah, a little flow here. Inhale will pull you up. Maybe you round through your spine on the way up and then dip the hips down and come into a slight back bend. Exhale, push the butt back, lead with the pelvis, and then come to the child's pose. Once more, inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale, pull back up to center. Find your tabletop, wrists in line with shoulders. So realign the arms and then bring the knees together. Awesome work. Now we're going to do the other side, which should feel really good. Shift your weight over into your left knee. Then first, draw the knee into the chest, round through the spine a little bit. So you know how your spine is in this shape? It's slightly rounded. Try to maintain the slight rounding of the spine. As you inhale, push the knee back as far as you can, trying to get the knee in line with the hip. It probably won't. Mine definitely won't, and that's fine. We just want to move to the outer edge of what this hip can do. Now, external rotation in the thigh, start to sweep that knee out very slowly up and around towards the tricep. It doesn't have to get the whole way there, just kind of creating that circle, right? Then bring it back into the center. Awesome. Now you go slow. Find the end of your range in your hip. This is like you're an explorer on a mountain, and you're exploring every peak and valley of the mountain, but the mountain is your hip, right? So see how far you can lift it up and back, how far you can get it out to the side. Keep going, nice and easy. 3. Mindful slow circles, 2. And 1. Finish your final circle and then bring the knees together. Keep the knees where they are and drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, gaze forward, cow pose. On an exhale, you'll tuck the chin round through the spine, cat. So take, let's say, at least 5 more cat and cow, and you have the option to add in any other movement. So if you're like, oh, Madison, that felt really precise, I want some free movement side to side, take it. Stick with your breath. And then again, you're exploring the outer reaches of your spine, right? In a safe, controlled way. Once you've taken 5 rounds, and you probably aren't there yet, that's okay. You'll separate the knees, bring your toes together, and come back into child's pose, and I'll meet you here. Once you're in child's pose, let your forehead rest the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come on forward, lift back up. And then this time we'll move towards downward dog. So your hands are going to be a bit further in front than they would be in tabletop. Look at your pointer fingers. Make sure those are the ones pointing forward. Then you can curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Option to stay in tabletop. And then you can move if movement feels good, or if stillness is suiting you, really think about sinking those heels down as you press into your hands. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, look forward. Walk your way to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana, heavy head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stay here, take your feet hip-width distance apart, and then grab for opposite elbows. Let's take a ragdoll, sway side to side. Take a breath in. And then exhale, let the hands fall down back to the ground. Bring your toes back towards one another. Inhale, sit your butt back. Take your arms wide, press through a chair pose. Reach high, look high, hands come up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by your side, samastitihi. Close your eyes, take a breath in. And a breath out. We'll get moving a little bit more now. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to either plank or tabletop. And right away, lift your right leg high, kick your foot towards your butt, and open your hip. So you might be in down dog. If you're in tabletop, the same concept would be leg up and open the hip just like this here. 2 ways. If you've got your hip open in down dog, instead of looking under the right armpit, keep the head neutral. Your weight in both your hands, no matter what you're doing right now, we try to keep it equal. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg, close the hip. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale. Exhale, step through, low lunge, and bring your back knee down to the mat. So you can untuck your toe, moving towards Anjaneyasana. So option one, you might have blocks here, and settle down into the hip. Push your left leg, or like your left hip flexor really down and forward to kind of create a nice big stretch. At the same time, pull your right hip backwards. If that feels okay, you might lift up a little bit more. Your hands could come to the top of the thigh. However, if your hands are on your thigh, shoulders should be really relaxed. So the tendency kind of is to support ourselves when actually I want the weight down in the hips. First, a big stretch. 3, 2, 1. If your hands are up, bring them back down, frame the foot. Curl your back toe under, lift your back knee up, and stay here. Now, try pulling your feet towards one another without lifting them up or moving the shape or changing them at all. Just a gentle tug of the feet towards one another in like a diagonal line, right? What we're doing is now we've got a little bit of a stretch, and I'm asking you to engage, hold. 3, 2, good work. 1, push into your hands, lift your hips up. Option 1, step back to either tabletop or down dog. Option 2, you're going to try to push into the hands. Maybe you can lift the foot first and then step back to your position of choice. Notice if one side of your leg or one side of your body feels different than the other. Breath in and a breath out. Inhale your left leg high and then kick the foot to the butt, open the hip. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Drop your left shoulder down slightly to make sure the weight is even in both shoulders. Fingers are still spread wide. You're trying to open the hip, but maintain full balance in the upper body. 3, 2, sink your right heel down to the ground. 1. Inhale, straighten the leg and close the hip. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Take a breath in and stay where you are. Exhale, step through, low lunge, and we bring that back knee down right away. Option to pad the knee. You could either stay here with hands on the ground, right? Allowing yourself to deepen the stretch. Your chest might be in the way of the leg. That's fine. You're kind of trying to use your chest to push the leg down. If you can, hands will come up onto the thigh and you'll stay here. But remember, shoulders, shoulder check team. Make sure shoulders are nice and relaxed. Sink down into the right hip flexor. Big, deep stretch. Normally what happens is we're met with a little bit of resistance, right? When we start to get into these stretches early on. Once the body knows we're safe, it'll let us go a little bit deeper. So just see if even you can sneak your way, pulse your way down a little bit more and hold there. 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down, frame the foot. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up, and now we stay. So we've got the stretch. Comes the strength. Pull the feet towards one another without shifting or moving your feet at all. You'll notice what that does is when I ask you to pull, your left hip will move backwards naturally because your hips even themselves out. Pull a little bit harder and hold here. Squeeze, squeeze. You can do it. Firing up the legs, take a breath in. And then option 1, you'll just move back to down dog or tabletop. Option 2, push into your hands. Try to round through your upper body like cat and lift the foot first. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Let's come down to the ground. Inhale, bring your weight forward. Option to take the knees down or knees up and lower slow. 4, elbows back. 3, shoulders back. 2, chest comes to the ground. First, 1. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. And then because I want your back muscles to be nice and warm, we will lift the hands and stay. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, stay. We only really do this once, right? You can do it. Inhale, lift higher, squeeze. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Curl the toes under. Push up to tabletop, shoulders back. Pull your belly button in. Push up strong. Awesome work. And then spin yourself sideways on the mat. So you're just going to walk so your hands are off the mat. You're in the middle of the mat. This is where you might want a blanket or a pillow under each knee and put it long ways on the mat. we're coming into frog pose. So for frog, the idea will be to get your knees as wide as you can. So you'll keep widening, widening, widening. I'll show from this way so you can see too, widening, widening, widening. But then once you're there, ideally, knee in line with ankle to start. Maybe you can lower down to the forearms. You have the ability to kind of check back and ensure if your butt is too far back, we're in child's pose, right? We're getting towards child's pose. If it's too far forward, we're in something, I don't know what it is, something different. So your knee and your hips should really be in line. A good demo of what this looks like for most people, because my hips are really open in this direction, is you'll probably be up here and you'll just hold, let your knees slide out to the side more and more and more. If you can, you'll sink down and eventually work towards coming towards the ground. In this position, we want to allow the inside of the hips to surrender. So even if they don't want to, see if you can get a little deeper every time, every breath, right? I told you we were going to rest a little bit more. Technically, this is resting. This counts. So how can you make this pose restful? Maybe closing the eyes and deepening the breath. If you're me, maybe you imagine your favorite frog in your head. Do you have a favorite frog? We can talk about it after class, but I feel like my favorite frogs are toads. Keep breathing. Release and relax. 3. Maybe you can get a little lower. 2. 1. All right. Arguably the most fun part of this pose is getting out of it. So, a few different options. If you can, you might just lean forward and try to bring your legs in and flop onto your belly. I prefer the push up for safety all the way, and then slowly slide the legs together back into tabletop pose. Find your alignment. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take your time. Move gingerly, everyone. And then bring your left leg back once you're there and just push through the heel, stretch through the back of the leg. Come back to center, switch it out, right leg back. Back to center. Hands come one hand print forward and we move to down dog, or you can stay in tabletop if that works better for you. Hold here. Take a few breaths. And I encourage you to actually pedal the feet out and down dog. We're creating space in the hips today. We are creating room for our hips to move. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, look forward. Travel to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide, push through chair all the way to standing, look high. And then exhale, fold, Uttanasana, a little bit of a flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to either tabletop or down dog. Right away, inhale, right leg high. Close the hip. And then exhale, kick your foot to your butt. Open the hip. Inhale, close the hip. Leg goes long. Exhale, knee to nose, lean forward. Take a breath in. And then step through, low lunge. Bring your back knee down, untuck your toe. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana, option here, here, or maybe here, and you extend the hands, holding. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands down, frame your foot, curl your back toe under, lift your back knee up, shift your right hip backwards. You're powering up through the legs to inhale, come up, whoop, crescent pose. Come high. Now, notice if your legs are close together like mine, like you're on a tightrope, it might be more difficult. So widen the feet away from each other a little bit and then sink down into your crescent pose and hold here. Breath in, out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Breath in. And then exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Reminder, you can either go right back or try to push and lift the foot first, back, down dog or tabletop. Inhale, come forward. Of course, we're going to do a push-up variation between sides. Option to take the knees down and lower down slow. 4, 3, 2, to the belly, 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Sphinx. Maybe you take the fingertips and you have for an extra breath here. So find a back bend you like. And then bring it on down once you've taken 2 breaths. Hands come by your sides. Your thumbs are in line with your nipples. Curl your toes under. Option to lift the knees first. Belly in, push up to either plank or tabletop and back, down dog. Right away, inhale your left leg high, hip is closed. As you exhale, open the hip, kick your foot to your butt. Inhale, straighten the leg, close the hip. Exhale, knee to nose. Take a breath in. And step through, low lunge. Bring the foot back, back knee comes down. So reminder, you're not on the knee itself, you're above the knee because you shift that foot backwards. Inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana, side 2. Reach the hands high, sink down in the legs and hold. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Exhale, hands come down, frame the foot, back toe curls under, lift the back knee up. Now, left hip comes backwards, right hip forwards. Maybe now's the time you hop your feet a little bit wider, right? I remembered this time so I don't fall over. And then inhale, lift up, crescent pose, hands high. So start a little bit higher, then sink down low, breath in, breath out. Keep full breath in, breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Option to try to lift the foot up first, push up and back. Downward facing dog or tabletop, or fun fact, maybe a child's pose. Listen to your body. Rest when you need to rest. We have 3 breaths. All right. Whatever you've chosen, you'll look forward and walk your hands as wide as the mat. So the hands are going to be nice and wide. If you take a peek at me, here are your options. Option 1, bring your knees down, walk your knees forward, come to a seat on your butt. Option 2, you're going to shorten your stance a little bit, shorten it, short down dog, and then try to hop your feet through and come to a seat. Option 3, maybe you're going full Ashtanga today. Keep the hands wide, tip-top on the toes, try to lift, and then hop feet straight through, come to a seat. All right, find your seat, hands back, left foot on the ground. Turn your fingers out to the side because that feels better for me right now. And I don't know, we're opening the shoulders a bit. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Try to get your knee in line with your opposite knee. And hold here. 3, lift, 2, and 1. Slide your left foot down. Release your right foot down. Nice work. Okay. Moving on. Inhale. Lift your right leg up. Draw your right knee into your chest. External rotation. Bring the ankle on top of the knee. Figure 4. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, start to bend this opposite knee until you find a good stretch in the outside of your right glute. Push your chest towards your shin. Maybe you can sit up straighter to increase the stretch. The more you close the angle, like pushing your belly forward, chest forward, more you should feel the stretch. Close your eyes. This is your rest. Come back to the breath. Where do you feel the stretch? Inhale. Exhale. Straighten your left leg really slowly. Slowly keep the ankle on the knee, very little by little, and then we all meet back on the ground if you were already here. Now, lift your right foot up. I'll try to demo this way. You're going to just lift that foot up and then place it on the inside of the leg. Now, reach your hands under your butt. Scoop the flesh out from under your butt. Hands will come high. Twist over that leg. Just a little bit. Twist, twist, twist. So your belly button's coming toward the thigh, and then fold forward. Maybe you grab for the foot, thigh, ankle, anywhere on this, and pull yourself down and in. Now the alignment might feel a little different than normal because this is a little bit closed, but with this pose, try to shift left hip back, right hip forward, and see if you can almost imagine you're pulling yourself into the stretch using your hips. Take one more breath in. Breath out. All right, lift the hands back up. And then lift your right foot up, straighten the leg, and release it down. Nice work. Now, bring your right foot up onto the mat. Hands come behind you. Lounge. Nice lounging. Okay, lift your left foot up. Bring your knee in line with your knee if you can. My leg is like shaking trying to get there, and that's fine. Remember, shaking is good. That's how we learn, how we grow. 3, 2, 1. Keep your left leg where it is. Straighten your right leg. Release it down. Inhale. Slowly lower left foot down to the ground. All right. Draw your left knee into your chest. External rotation. And then bring ankle to knee. Figure 4. You might stay here or starting to bend little by little by little to find this nice big stretch on the glute. Push the chest forward. So if you find yourself rounding in this pose, right, that might mean it's a little more challenging and you need to lean back. You could even be here, but you're still trying to lift the chest up and open. If you can, get here, really pushing the hands and chest forward, creating a big stretch on the left glute. Flex your left foot. We are here in our rest. So I really like the idea that we can find rest in things that aren't particularly easy, right? You might find this to be a slightly easy stretch, but we're still stretching. We're still asking our body to do things, but we can cultivate rest in spaces that might not seem always that restful. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Now the fun part, straighten the right leg, lower the foot very slowly down to the ground. Ooh, how controlled can you be on your descent? And then we're back in figure 4. Lift your left foot up off of the thigh and then bring it down on the inside of the thigh. If you need to help your hand, you can. Then lean forward, reach out and grab the flesh from under your butt so you can feel your sits bones. Flex your right foot, pull your right hip back. Inhale, hands high. And then exhale, fold over that leg any amount. Ideally bringing the forehead towards the shin. Let the whole upper back and head surrender. Slow the breath, slow the heart. But find that stretch. You are the master of sensation in your own body, right? Inhale, lift up, hands high. And then lift left foot up, extend the foot forward. Great work. Release. Hands come to heart center. Kick your feet around to one side. Come to your knees and then tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl your toes under. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. All right, look forward. Bend in your knees, travel to the top of the mat and fold Uttanasana. Maybe even pull yourself down and in a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Inhale, halfway lift. Slide the hands around to the front. Lift up from the low back, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit yourself back, chair pose. All right, for chair, walk the knees together. So knees are nice and close today. Shift your weight over into your left leg. Hover your right knee up. And then see if you can sink a little lower. Hold here, 3, 2, 1. Back to chair. Switch the legs out. Right foot down, left knee up. Hold. Try to get a little lower. 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, chair pose. Inhale, come high, reach up. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Take a big breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Let's let it go. Close your mouth. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale. All right, blink your eyes open. Hands come to the hips. 2 options. If you need a wall to help you balance, you are welcome to take a wall because I care more about your hips than about your balance as much today. If you want to try no balance, hands are going to stay on the hips. Shift your weight over into your left leg. Bring your right knee up 90 degrees. So we've moved the hips in quite a few different ways. We're going to just now move through this new range we've created. First, external rotation. And peek down, make sure your knee is in line with your hip. Then internal rotation. Don't lift through the hip, hip stays down. Just moving in the capsule. Internal rotation. External rotation. One more time. Bring it in. Like we're flipping a lever. Bring it out. Or a lever. I feel like that's the British way to say it. You guys can confirm later. Back to center. Inhale, lift your knee up. And because I love you, take your hands around your knee. We don't do this very often. Normally I make you support your own knee. Let's roll through the ankle, nice and slow. If it goes clickety-clack, that's fine. So does mine. Once you've done 1 or 2 in one direction, take them in the other direction. Okay, come back to center. Is that left leg tired yet? Maybe a little, probably fine. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, keep your knee where it is. Release your hands. Hold here. 3. Option to straighten your leg and scream. 2. And 1. Release. Great work. Hands by your sides. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Breath in. Breath out. All right, switch it over. Right leg, strong, sturdy. Hands comes to the hips. Left knee up, 90-degree bend. Start with your external rotation. Really have that biofeedback, left hand on the hip. As you internally rotate, make sure your left hip does not lift at all. Only moving through the hip capsule. Let's go back out again. External rotation. Internal rotation. One more time. External. Internal. Back to center. Draw the knee up and then squeeze in. Bring your hands around your shin. Feels nice to have that support, doesn't it? And now you can roll through the ankle. Take, like I said, 1 or 2 if you're going slow. 1 in one direction and then the other direction, trying to explore all the range you've got in your ankle. All right, back to center. Squeeze the knee in as high as you can get it. And then release, hold, keep the knee exactly where it is. 3, option to straighten and scream. 2, and 1. Feet together, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Awesome job. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. All right, one more flow before we move on to our peak pose. Inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, either plank, tabletop, down dog, or child's pose. If you're coming with me, you can do the slower low down. 4, 3, 2, 1. To your belly. Inhale, back bend of your choice for 2 breaths. Remember, it's always fine to rest in down dog, rest in child's pose. And then when you're ready, forehead to the mat, slide the hands by your sides, toes curl under. We lift up and back. Everyone meet downward facing dog or tabletop. Right away, lift the right leg high. Close the hip first, and then exhale, kick the foot to the butt. Open the hip wide. Maybe you're getting a little more range now. Could you go a little bit further? Next, inhale, close the hip, straighten the leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Lean forward, breath in. Exhale, step through, low lunge. This time, instead of Anjaneyasana, we're going to come straight up to crescent pose, lift the hands high. And then right away, exhale, warrior 2. Take your hands down to your legs. So right hand is going to be on the inside of the right thigh, left hand to left thigh. Your left hand, the purpose is to keep this leg straight and smooth. So you're basically like smoothing this leg down. Your right hand, push your hand into your knee and your knee into your hand. Tug of war as you hold deep and low. 3. Squeeze. 2. Push a little harder. I know you can. I believe in you. 1. All right, same shape of the legs. Extend the arms. Take a breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, sweep up and around, side angle pose. We're creating one long line from the foot to the top of the hand. Hold here, shoulder away from the ear, right? Your elbow is there just for support. Ideally, there's almost no weight. You could test that theory by reaching the bottom hand up and forward. 3, 2, 1. Elbow can come down. Inhale, we can do it together. Lift up, warrior 2. Exhale, sweep the hands down from the foot. Let's get out of warrior 2. Lift your back heel up. Push up, try to lift the foot first and back. Down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, kick the foot to the butt. Open the hip. Maybe you get a little bit more opening this time. Inhale, close the hip, left leg long. Exhale, knee to nose. Lean forward. Take a breath in and step through, low lunge. All right, inhale up, crescent pose for just a breath. And then exhale, widen, warrior 2. Hands come down. And remember, right hand's job is just gonna be like, hey buddy, you wanna be straight. I want you nice and straight here. Straightening into that leg. Left hand, not resting. I know that seems nice, but it's gonna be the inside of the thigh. Push the knee into the hand into the knee, squeeze. I'm out of breath too. You can do this, push in. Push a little more. Almost there. Get lower in the knee. Inhale. Extend the arms. Exhale, warrior 2. Take a breath in. Elbow to knee, sweep up and around. Side angle pose. Shoulder away from the ear. Hips are still low, right? Option to make sure that your shoulder is away from the ear, even if you float the bottom hand for just a second, right? Just test and make sure your body is engaged. Your torso is lifting. 3, 2, 1. Elbow comes down, and then with strength, we lift up, warrior 2. Oh, man. Exhale, sweep the hands down. Frame the foot. Back heel lifts up, push up, and back. Down dog. Inhale. Exhale. All right, look forward. Travel however you want to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide, sweep through chair pose, reach all the way to standing, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by your side, Siddhasana, breath in. Maybe we close the eyes for a second, rest. Breath out. There's power in strength and movement. And there's also power in being still, giving our body the rest that it's asking for, giving our body the rest that it needs. All right, hands come back to the hips. Blink your eyes open. This is it. This is for all the marbles, as they say. Right foot comes down, nice and strong. Bring your left leg up 90 degrees. External rotation. Bend into your right knee. Hover your left ankle above your knee, just hovering. Being like, hi, hey girl, hey. Not gonna touch it yet. Don't put it on there yet. Not yet. All right, now you can bring the ankle atop the knee. Our little figure four, sit your butt down and back. Ideally, we want to see not how low we can lower the torso, right? Like I could lower my torso down here, my legs virtually straight. Instead, how deep can you bend in the right knee? Sitting, essentially, right, in a chair. We want the butt back, like you're sitting in a chair. Hands can be at heart center. Hands can extend. Maybe you try to bring the forearms to the shin, but only if your butt is at almost 90 degrees. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, you'll kick yourself right up and off that leg. Lift the foot high, bring the knee into the chest, internal rotation to make it neutral. Kick the foot forward. Feet together, release. Hands by your sides. Breath in. We've got one more side, guys. That's it. Breath out. All right. Let's take the hands to the hips. Shift your weight into your left leg. Right knee comes up, 90. External rotation. Bend in the left knee, hover ankle over the knee. We're just hovering. Finding the strength in that left leg. My leg is wiggling, that's fine. Now, almost there. Bring the ankle on top of the knee, find your figure four. So first, instead of leaning the chest forward, sit your butt as deep as you can sit the butt. Bring that butt down. Try to think about your thigh being parallel with the ground. Insane, I know. We're imagining. We're pretending. Then you could bring hands to heart center, or maybe hands up in your figure four. If you're trying heart center, you could take them from here to resting, but make sure the legs are as deep as you can get them before you try to bring the elbows down. Hold, you got it. Balance, laugh, almost there. 3, 2. Great work. 1, push up, lift up, internal rotation. Kick the foot forward. And release. Great job. All right, shake the legs out. Hands come by your side. Tadasana, close your eyes. Slower, deeper breath. Feel the heat in the legs. Blink your eyes open, walk your feet together closer. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step right back to downward facing dog or tabletop, and then we're all coming forward, lowering down to our bellies. 3, 2, 1. Untuck the toes. Lift up, baby back bend, but instead, let's just sweep one elbow under, surprise, and roll right over onto your back. If your house is cold and you know you're going to need to put on warmer clothes, you're welcome to grab them now as we're making our way down towards Shavasana. We're going to have a few more moves, just a couple. Once you're down, we'll take an easy twist, either knees together or one leg in, one leg out. Why don't we go over to the right side first? So knees can go over to the right, or draw your left knee into your chest. Take it over to the right, arms to a T. Option have a block or 2 blocks under the knees to support your spinal twist. Surrender that left shoulder down. So if you find your left shoulder is really far up off the mat, bring it back down and do less of a twist, right? I don't know about you. Personally, I could stay here all day, but we got to switch the sides out. So let's move to the opposite side. Find a twist that works for you. And then gaze can be over to the right if it feels okay in the neck. Surrender the right shoulder down. And then back to center. Untwist, two different options depending on what makes you happy. Option one, happy baby. Option two, you could do a bridge pose. I was going to say camel, but that is not what we're doing. That's very intense. Just a bridge, lifting the hips up off the mat. Maybe you shimmy the shoulders together, pinkies come down towards the mat. Or a nice, luxurious happy baby. Your hips should feel a little more hippie than normal. Wide and open. And then when you feel like you have had enough of either pose, there's not a rush. You have a little bit of time to do whatever else you need to prepare for your Shavasana. So any other kind of pose or movement, or maybe you get like your sleep mask and your pillow and your teddy bear. And then let your eyes shut. Let your body get heavy. Make your way towards Shavasana. And then take this Shavasana like you mean it. You're here for just a couple minutes. You have nowhere to be in the next few minutes. So any thoughts that come up, just let them immediately drift away, because this is your time to relax. Surrender. Inhale. And exhale into Shavasana. If you would like to stay in Shavasana and you feel great, please just stay, rest. This is truly the most important part of our practice. The integration, the rest. But if you're ready to move out, you can begin with a full inhale and exhale, expanding through the lungs. And then invite movement into your body. First in a way that feels small. And then maybe in a way that feels a little bit bigger, more expansive. Eventually you can reach your arms above your head, reach your feet long. Invite some life back into your limbs and then draw one knee towards the chest and the other. Roll onto your side in fetal pose, just briefly recognizing this transition out of the practice, back into your day. And press yourself up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. Facing any direction. You're at home, so it doesn't matter, right? Hands can either come together at heart center in prayer or two hands over the heart. Just feel the warmth of your palms. Take a breath in. And exhale, bow your chin to seal your practice. Maybe throw a little gratitude in there if there's something you want to feel grateful for in this last moment. And then lift your head back up. Open your eyes. Thank you all. Fantastic work. A very happy Sunday to you. I hope your hips feel good. If you have any questions, please let me know. A reminder that in life, it's both fast and slow, and we need to honor both of them, right? So I hope you give yourself some slower moments this week, some time to relax, guilt-free, because you deserve it. And I will see you next week for the Sunday Sweat Club. Bye, everyone.